Is it on right now? Oh, it's on? All right, so anyways, yeah. Anyways, you are Dustin Browder, and
yes,
by the way, I'm Derek Tom, so nice to meet you, first
nice
of all.
Nice to meet you, sir.
And, all right, so actually staying here with you is kind of like cool for me, because I'm a big StarCraft fan.
Cool.
And then I really like StarCraft, and, but you didn't really take any part in making Brood War, did you?
I was not at the company of Brood War. I didn't join the company until 2005.
Okay. Actually, I think I saw an interview like a long time ago in like some totally different thing, and you had hair.
I have had hair in the past, yes.
Oh, you had?
Yes.
How does that feel by then? Like,
oh, it's awesome.
Really?
You should definitely shave your head. It's fantastic.
Really?
Oh yeah, especially
you don't miss hair?
Especially in Southern California, I absolutely do not miss hair. I was hot all the time. This is great.
But the thing is, I can't grow a chin strap, so.
All right. Well, you might look good without hair and no chin strap.
Maybe.
Okay.
I've actually been shaving my head bald back when I was like in 5th grade.
Nice.
And then everyone would call me Mount Baldy. It was ridiculous.
Nice.
And people would just like rub my head and everything. It was ridiculous. But see, I'm Asian, so no facial hair for me. I was gonna talk about. Anyway, so StarCraft 2, Heart of the Swarm. First of all, I think it's actually pretty awesome.
Cool.
Actually, I've been talking to a lot of pros lately.
Nice.
And then they're like, oh yeah, I'm really not looking forward to it. And
it's going to be tough on them.
Yeah,
it's going to be very hard on them to see that kind of changes in the metagame, that kind of changes to the units and structures. It's going to be a challenge for them. I have confidence in them. They're able to overcome huge difficulties all the time. They don't know how awesome they are, right? Okay. So I think they'll get through it, but it will be a hurdle for them in the short term.
Yeah. And then like I was just talking with Maximus Black, and then he was like, are we like once Heart of the Swarm comes out, do you think we're going to see a really quick change to it, or it's going to take like 6 to 10 months?
No idea. No idea. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
It's up to them.
All right. And so also, earlier I caught up with you. We were talking about a little bit things about like the Raven. Like first of all, like I brought up like the point like a lot of times. I mean, me as a Terran player, we don't like to make them because we have to invest in a tech lab, which takes away from the reactor.
Right.
And the medevac is generally a much more reliable unit.
Much safer in a lot of scenarios, especially when you're going heavy bio, right?
Yeah. And then I was like bringing up like, hey, maybe we get like Ravens, and Secret Missile's awesome. Like boom, big damage.
Sure.
But then a lot of times people don't like to invest and wait in that time, so maybe like lower down the cost.
That's a possibility. Yeah. That's something we can certainly explore.
Okay. And then like proportionally lower down the damage.
Oh, of course. You wouldn't just lower the cost to keep the damage the same. Unless it's that badly out of balance,
10 energy for like 100 damage or something.
Unlikely. But
I would like that though, personally.
We don't usually go down to as low as 10. We usually do it in increments of 25, right? That keeps things clean, people to understand, so they know how many they have to cast. So it might be something like 50 energy, and then see what that does, that kind of stuff.
Okay. And then also, so in Heart of the Swarm, by the way, what are probably your most, did you like come up with like, were you responsible for some of the...
My job is to find the best ideas, not to create the best ideas. Sometimes I come up with the ideas, sometimes I just see them either in the community or in the team, and I help pick them out and support the ones that are good and try to kill the ones that are bad. So it's not my job to come up with everything, but it's my job to make sure that everything that goes in does match our quality level.
Okay. And by the way, I know you get like pro feedback. So, like, how do you get all that feedback? Like, who do you get it from?
We have David Kim, who speaks Korean, who gathers a lot of the feedback from the Korean fans.
Yeah.
And we also have emails from these guys. We get a lot of feedback from a lot of different channels. We have a community team in Korea that does a great job of gathering pro feedback. They sometimes have pros come out and play the game there in the Korean office. So we get a lot of feedback from these guys from a lot of different sources.
Okay, but you guys really don't get it from, like, the Blizzard forums, right?
No, sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, we go everywhere to get...
People are mean, man.
Well, sure, but everybody's mean, right? Like, they're all loving and playing the game.
Reddit. Oh, man, they're scary.
It's rough. Yeah, but we get the data from wherever we can. And we have very thick skins at this point.
Okay, that's good. And by the way, you're wearing a Zerg shirt, so are you actually a Zerg player?
This was the shirt we built for Heart of the Swarm. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. I play random. I will always play random, so there will never be a bias. No, I play random.
Breaking it right now.
I play random, and that's what I'll always play.
Okay. I'm just kidding. You don't have like any favorite race or anything?
Cannot afford to.
How about favorite units?
There's units I use well, but I hope for all of my units at the end of the day that they're effective and dangerous. I'm more effective with, mutas than I am with siege tanks, right? Like I often screw up the position of siege tanks, and mutas I find easier because I can move them everywhere, but I think that's true of a lot of players.
So like what's an average day as Dustin Browder?
Well, this is not an average day, right? Coming here and doing interviews is totally crazy. The average day is usually you go to the office, check your email, play some of the campaign, see the report on the balance from the day before, see if we've had any changes we need to do, maybe talk to David a little bit about the current state of the balance in the tournaments, go to a meeting about story for Heart of the Swarm or Legacy of the Void,
Diablo 3?
I was on the strike team for Diablo 3, so...
Do you play it though?
Oh, I totally play it, but I don't play it at work, right? I'll play it at home. We don't play the games at work, right? Like the only time you play the game at work is to see if it's broken, and then if it's suggest a fix. We don't sit around and play the office all day and just play games.
If I worked there, I would pretend that everything was broken just so I could play the whole time.
Sure.
Blizzard games are really good, by the way.
Cool.
They're really darn good.
Cool.
Yeah. And so, anyways, we were talking about like moderation for all units and like I mean, is there a possibility you might bring back like some other units like the Science Festival?
It's always a possibility. We don't currently have those units in play, and we're not currently have them in a build, but we're always looking for that potential to see if any of these units are viable in the current game.
Okay. Also, okay, now this is from my guess, but like the Warhound used to have anti-air.
Yes.
But I think the reason why you guys took it out is because you didn't want to overlap with a Thor, right?
We had originally at that time changed the Thor to be a very different type of unit.
Oh, yeah,
and so we
that's
reverted
true.
the Thor back to its current role. Then it didn't make any sense for the Warhound to maintain that anti-air capability.
Oh man, I wish you guys kept the Thor that crazy awesome
Mega
mech
Thor,
unit that had splash damage.
The Super Thor.
That was awesome. But yeah, I wish Warhounds had like that anti-air capability, because like a lot of times people are like stubborn like me, like in Brood War, like if we go mech only, we don't mix in units.
Sure.
Unless it's like Marine Goliath, medic back in Brood War. And so I was like, oh, I wish I could just go like plain like I don't really like to use Thors for anti-air just because they're really slow, and mech is already really slow.
We've also got the Widow Mine right now, which will help you against a lot of anti-air threats. Not so much in the middle of a battle, but to help you with a lot of the raiding that happens against Terrans. And so that'll be hopefully something you can use to protect your mineral lines, to protect your supply depots and tech labs from enemy raids. At the same time, you can use just Marines in the middle of the battlefield to defend yourself.
Yeah, because what I was doing when I was playing with it, because the Widow Mine's actually cloaked, right?
It burrowed.
It burrows, so it's basically cloaked. Because what I was trying to I was thinking like, oh, maybe it's like a DT, so maybe I can like rush that out and get map control and then easily expand afterwards. And then like I was trying to bring them in the middle of battle, like attack in the middle of battle.
It's not really efficient to use the Widow Mines in the middle of the battle. You often end up killing the unit before it gets to detonate, and then you've wasted the money.
Also, does it do friendly damage?
It doesn't right now, but we're experimenting with that.
Don't do it now!
We have some possibilities. We could do it where it affects only the plane that the units are on. So, for example, I don't want to see a Widow Mine leap up and hit a Mutalisk. The Mutalisk stays over the SCVs, splashes, and kills everything. That would not work.
That would hurt.
Yeah, so we're thinking maybe if we do that, it would only work against the units. So the splash would only hit air if the unit's in the air. The splash would only hit ground if the unit's on the ground.
Oh,
it'd still be a little dodgy because you might have a Marine run in, hit the Widow Mine. He would stand around next to the SCVs until he detonates, which would be a pain. Not
a team player. All right. So, by the way, are you married?
Yes.
And you have kids?
I have 2 kids.
And do they love Blizzard games also?
Oh, well, one's only 1 year old, so he doesn't know yet. But my 5-year-old plays a ton of Diablo and plays a ton of StarCraft.
Oh, really? Okay. Is it gonna be like the next GSL winner one day? Maybe?
I don't know. We'll see.
Force him to play video games. Be like, oh my gosh, you're Bronze League out of my house. I'm just kidding. No, I'm going to be like that because, that's how I roll. No, I'm just kidding. All right, well, this has been awesome, and you're actually a really chill guy.
Cool.
So I hope everything goes well. And oh my gosh, the Brood War players, what do you think about that?
Oh, it's very exciting. I can't wait to see these guys play tonight. I'm a huge fan. We're so honored to have them part of the community. It's very exciting.
Actually, they're like my role models. Like honestly, you don't go up to like a job interview and be like, yeah, these gamers are my role models. But I mean, honestly, they really are. And then when I first saw them, the first thing I thought was, oh my gosh, they're taller than me. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was like, oh my gosh, these guys they're them. Like
they're amazing.
Like Flash is like this determination. 20 hours of practice a day.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
But yeah, I guess that'll be it for today.
Okay.
And thanks a lot,
thank you, sir.
You're awesome. Can I give you a hug, by the way?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Awesome. All right. Thanks, by the way.
Have a good show, man.
Have a good day.